Hey guys, welcome back to another First Impression Friday. Today we are testing out some Kat Von D products, which is like super exciting for me because I have never tried anything from Kat Von D other than the single liquid lipstick that I own, and it's like a nude shade and it's just so like vanilla, you know what I mean? Just like basic AF vanilla standard white girl choice. Recently the Kat Von D PR team sent me out a PR package and it contained their locket line, I think it's called, like their locket collection. I don't know if it's a line or a collection, to be honest. I don't really know the difference because I'm a shitty YouTuber. They sent me their locket primer, their locket foundation, their locket concealers, their locket eyeshadow primer, and their locket translucent powder, as well as some brushes. So I figured that I would sit down today and film a first impressions video for you guys, trying out all of these products on camera, just so you guys can see like my initial reactions and just my overall review and thoughts and opinions on these. You guys seem to like my foundation reviews a lot and I love doing them. They're like my favorite thing to film. So yeah, we're just going to do that today. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video and let's just jump straight into it. I will let you guys know these products were sent to me, as I mentioned before, and I did not purchase any of them myself. However, this is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to make this video. I just wanted to make it for you guys. So I'm going to start off by priming my face, and I'm just going to do one side because we are testing out some foundations. And we're going to do check-ins throughout the day. So I'm just going to do the left side as I usually do, and we're going to use the Kat Von D Locket Primer. This is really cute as well. Comes with like a little thing on the front and you pull it off. It's like a little lid, which is so cute. I'm going to definitely keep those so I can like clip them back on because I'm like weirdly OCD with this stuff. Like I'll have trash scattered around my entire room, but no, I must keep the little lid on my foundation at all times. So this is basically what the packaging looks like. Has the Kat Von D logo on the front, which I just think is so nice. This is a 30ml bottle, so do not let the size fool you. When my mum saw these, she was like, oh, they're so big, and I was like, Mum, don't even try me. So I've just pulled up the Kat Von D Locket Hydrating Primer on the Sephora website. I am reading straight from sephora.com, not .au, so this is the US website. Just figured as that was like the first one that was coming up, it was just easier to read from that one. Plus 90% of you guys watching me are from the US anyway. Basically, it is a hydrating water-based primer that is specifically designed for long wear foundations. So it's obviously specifically formulated. This primer retails for $32 US and you get 30 mils, which is pretty standard. So I'm just going to apply this to the left side of my face, and I'm just going to take a little spurtle like this, and I'm just going to rub it in with my fingertips. It doesn't really have like a strong smell by any means, like it doesn't smell like much. It feels really hydrating on the skin. Like it kind of feels like a really lightweight moisturizer when you put it on. So the primer feels really hydrating on the skin. It just feels really nice and moisturized as opposed to this side of my face, which feels a little bit dry and dull. I feel like it just gave it like not really a glow, like in a sense. It just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of looks a little bit more healthy on this side as well. So I'm really interested to see how the foundation goes over top of it, especially because I have some really angry breakouts right now. I have been picking at my face, which is always a great idea, isn't it? It's just always so good. So now I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Locket Foundation. I have the shades Medium Neutral, which is number 53. Then I have 52 Medium Neutral, and then I have 54 medium neutral. So I'm generally a medium skin tone, sometimes light, sometimes medium. It just depends how dark my fake tan is at the time. But today I think I'm going to use 53. I'm going to actually pump them all out onto my hand and just see what the colors are like. And then I'll decide what shade I'm going to wear, because it just depends which one matches me best. So these are the shades of the foundation right here. We have 53, 52 and 54. I think the only shades that I would be able to use are 53 and 54. So 54 is a lot more neutral toned, which I'm kind of leaning towards, but 53 is a little bit more yellow. So I think I'm going to go with 53 today, the more yellow toned one, because my fake tan generally goes a little bit more yellow. So I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about the Lock It foundation from Kat Von D. I've heard a lot of people don't like it, and then a lot of people love it. It's meant to be really, really full coverage from what I've heard. And people have said it's like heavy and thick and that sort of thing. So I'm interested to try it out. This retails for $35 US, and you get 30 mils in this as well. They have a really, really good color range as well. There's like 50 colors or something like that. I'm not going to count them all, but there's a lot on the website. And it says it's a high pigment foundation for full coverage that leaves a long-lasting, beautiful finish. So they did send this little card along with the package. There's actually a little card for every product in here. This was just the foundation one, and it did come with a brush specifically for applying this foundation as well, which is the number 10 brush. It doesn't have a name on it, but it does have a number, so I'm going to be trying this out today. Kind of reminds me of the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush, but just not as structured and as thick. So I'm going to pump the foundation just onto a little palette, and then I'm just going to dot it onto my face. And I'm just going to take a little bit to start off with. Alright, and then I'm just going to go in with that foundation brush and kind of paint it onto my face. Whoa, that is really, really pigmented. Really pigmented. Alright, so the left side with the primer blended out pretty well. It is a little bit patchy because I found it a tiny little bit hard to use this brush to blend, but I think that might just be because I'm not used to using this brush for my foundation. But I'm going to blend out the non-primed side now and just see if there's any differences. Alright, immediately I can tell that this side is a tiniest little bit harder to blend. Like, it's just not as smooth on the skin. Like, I'm just kind of tugging at my face a little bit more. Alright, so far it's looking pretty good. Like, it's really pigmented, and I actually really like the color. I think it matches with my fake tan really well. However, I think I'm going to go in with a beauty blender just because it's a little bit patchy, just around like my forehead and like the perimeter of my face, just where I didn't apply a lot of product when I dotted it on. I find this brush a little bit hard to blend with, but that just could be my complete lack of talent when it comes to using brushes for makeup. So I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just see if this helps blend it out or anything, just because this is kind of like a thick, dry foundation. I'll show you guys what it looks like on my little blush. I always just like pump my foundations onto a blush or just a smooth surface, and I work from there. But as you can see, it's not liquidy, it's quite thick, it's not going anywhere. So I just finished applying it to my face. I ended up going in with another layer. I tried not to use too much, but I did really want to try and cover up my blemishes here, and it has actually covered them pretty well. They still are peeking through a little bit, and I did have to do like 3 layers on them all up. But they're really, really angry and just like mad at me for putting germs in them every single day at the moment. It's very similar to my Estee Lauder Double Wear, I will say that. Very, very similar. The consistency, not so much. The Estee Lauder Double Wear is very runny, but then it is kind of thick on the face. And this one is thick in the bottle, like when you pump it out, and it's kind of thick on the face. It doesn't really feel heavy on my skin right now. I do feel like I have foundation on, kind of like around my nose and like my smile lines and that sort of thing. Like it. Why? And the color is just a tiny little bit too yellow and a little bit too dark for me at the moment. I think after I've done like a fresh fake tan, it would be perfect. It looks really nice on the skin so far. It's really full coverage. I will say I did have to build it up a little bit, which surprised me. but I don't know if that's because I don't have any fake tan on my face at the moment, so a lot of my redness is showing through a lot easier than it would if I did have fake tan on my face. So yeah, it just made it a little bit harder to cover, but other than that, it looks really nice. It just looks like a really nice natural finish on the skin. It does look the tiniest little bit cakey on my chin and on my top lip, but I do have a little bit of a rash on my top lip at the moment, and I did have cortisone cream on my top lip, like rubbed into my skin, so that could be why. It is sinking into my smile lines, I can see that now, but it's kind of made my skin look poreless, and I do prefer using a beauty blender to blend a foundation like this out, just because it is so thick, and I do like to really pat it into the skin. I like to get a full coverage, but like a thin full coverage, if that makes sense, so like a lot of pigment but not too much product build up on the face. So I just jumped on the Sephora website and it says that it is a matte soft finish. At the moment it hasn't really dried down matte or anything like that, so I'm going to jump in now and try out the concealers. They sent me 3 of their regular shades plus their white concealer that they came out with, which is really intriguing to me. So I have the shades D35 Neutral, L9 Neutral, and L15 Neutral. So we're just going to use L9 to highlight under my eyes today, and I'm actually going to use the D35 to contour my face, which I will show you guys as well. So I've also pulled up the Lock-It Concealer on the website. This is the Lock-It Concealer Cream, not the regular Lock-It one. When I was googling this, it was coming up with one in like a little tube. I don't know if they're the same thing, but this is the one in like the little doe foot applicator container, so just keep that in mind just in case they are different. But this retails for $26 US, which is around like $30 to $40 Australian, pretty standard for like a high-end concealer. And you get how many ounces in this? So this is 6.25 grams and 0.22 ounces. It just says a super versatile, rich and creamy concealer with 24-hour wear and instant full coverage. And it's meant to brighten the under eye area, cover blemishes, corrects discoloration, contours and bakes. That's so weird. It bakes? Does that mean you can bake with it, or like it bakes itself? I'm confused. And the color range on this concealer on the Sephora website is amazing. I would say there is at least 50 shades there. There's definitely more than the foundation shades, so that is really, really good as well. Alright, so the same deal with the concealer as the foundation. It does come with a little brush, and it is like similar to the foundation brush, so I'm interested to see how this goes. It's basically the foundation brush, but a little teeny baby one. And I'm just going, oh, the applicator's cute. Maybe I should show you guys what it fucking looks like. That would be great. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's a little doe foot applicator and it's really cute. It looks like a little tiny iron. Like a little teeny iron. You just be like ironing out your clothes. Like, I know that's a weird comparison, but that's what it looks like. It's really cute and it's kind of angled like a golf club. I'm just going to swipe this underneath my eyes. Oh, that's nice and light. The applicator, I kind of wish it wasn't angled. I like to bring it up onto the sides of my nose as well. I'm going to try blending it out with that brush. I'm really concerned about how this is going to go because I suck at blending with brushes. Alright, so I'm just going to use this to kind of spread the product underneath my eyes, and then I'm going to tap it in with my beauty blender. Just because for me it is like humanly impossible to blend out concealer without a beauty blender. Like using a brush is just like, it's like trying to speak a foreign language. I can't do it. That's a nice brush though. I actually like that. So I think I would just use that for like my inner corners because that did a really good job. But I am going to use a beauty blender because I'm a little bitch who doesn't like change. Damn girl, you highlighted. Makes my eyes look like tiny little dots once I conceal around them. I like that so far. That's a nice concealer. It actually concealed really, really well. Some concealers, when I try and blend them out, it just like leaves my face and I'm like, where the freaking hell did you go? But that concealer is actually really, really nice so far. So I'm going to go in with the white out one, and I'm just going to apply it right where my dark circles are and just brighten it up a little bit more. So now we're going to go in with the white out concealer, and I'm just going to apply, oh, it's so white, it looks like liquid paper, like white out. We're just gonna do a, whoa, that's white. I mean, like, I expected it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay. I think I'm just gonna do that. I don't want too much. That's actually nice and brightening. I like that. I'm gonna put more on. Can you hear those dogs barking? I can't tell if one of them is my dog. I always panic. I'm like, shit, did my dog get out? Yes! So bright, oh my god! You can see me from space. Alright, now I'm going to contour with that D35 shade. I'm really happy with how that brightened up so far. It hasn't like completely covered my dark circles, but they're just really dark because I am a TV show binge watcher and never sleep. Alright, that's a good colour. That is a good contouring colour. Don't want too much. A little bit there and then a little bit on my jaw. So I think I might actually use the foundation brush to blend out my contour, and we'll see how that goes, just because I've really been liking using a brush for contouring lately. Alright, so a little goes a long way. It's okay, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender just to make sure the edges are blended. Alright, so far I'm not really liking this this brush to blend out anything. I don't know, it's just like weirdly dense and I don't like know how to use it. They blend out really, really nicely with my beauty blender. But that's what my face is looking like so far. I'm actually really liking it. The concealer blended out really nice as a contour shade. I'm actually going to go in with a little bit more of that white out concealer and I'm going to apply it to like the cheekbones sort of area because I feel like I kind of just look like I have this white cast under my eyes. I think I should have blended it out a little bit further. Plus I really like to accentuate my cheekbones because they're not very strong and prominent on my face. And I want to look like I'm Reezy basically. So until I can afford to get those amazing cheek fillers, I'm just going to have to do that. I would totally get cheek fillers because I got like shit all. Alright, so my face is looking pretty good so far. Everything looks like really full curve, like super full curve. I feel like I've just gotten weirder as this video has progressed. I was on Snapchat before and I was singing I'm on a Boat by The Lonely Island and that just really like pumped me sky high. So my mood is just gone woo and I'm just like ready to like fuck some shit up. So yeah, just like bear with me guys. I know I'm really obnoxious and annoying when I get like this. These foundation and concealers look really, really good. Not dewy, but like luminous on my skin. Like my skin looks like, I'm moving my head because I'm looking at it in the mirror as the glow hits it and moves, and it looks really pretty, really nice. Just very radiant and natural looking. Like it looks like I have makeup on, but it looks natural, if that makes sense, and it's super full coverage, so I'm really liking that so far. However, it is creased like a mother effer on my eyelids and underneath my eyes, so I will have to bake today. And we're going to try out the Kat Von D Lock-It not pressed, this is loose translucent powder. Just comes in a little package like this. Kat Von D's packaging is impeccable. It is so nice. So what I'm going to do is just shake a little bit into the lid. Alright, so they sent me two other brushes. This one came with like the picture of the translucent powder, so I'm assuming this is like their powder brush. This is the number 25 and this is the number 20. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to bake underneath my eyes using the 25 and then set the rest of my face using the number 20 because it is a little bit more fluffy. I'm interested to see how this goes. I would not picture this as like a powder brush. I'd picture this as like a flat foundation brush, but it was on the picture, so I've taken like a ton of powder on my brush and I'm gonna bake. Alright, so my camera overheated and died, which is super annoying, but I basically just baked underneath my eyes, and I went off camera and contoured my nose just quickly because I forgot to do it before and didn't want to do it on camera because it takes too long. But I'm just gonna bake the sides of my nose just to make it look extra snatched. Alright, and I'm just gonna like let that sit as you do with baking, and I'm going to go in with this big fluffy brush and set the rest of my face. So I only lightly set it because I don't want to put too much powder on and look like crazy cakey. And I'm just going to swipe this away. Oh, that was weird. It looks patchy under my eyes from baking. So underneath my eyes where I bake, it kind of just looks like a little bit like mottled. Other than that, everything's looking pretty good. I don't like that powder. I can tell you guys straight up now, I don't like it. It looks really dry on my skin. The way that I can explain the powder to you guys is it looks like I have put powder on first and then put foundation over top of it. My forehead looks fine. It's just like around my mouth. I just realized that I didn't even tell you guys how much the translucent powder costs because I was just so in the zone of doing my face. But the powder retails for $30 US and you get 0.67 ounces. I'm gonna go in with the Eyelid Primer now, and I've got that pulled up as well. This retails for $25 and they have 5 shades and you get 0.049 ounces, and I have the shade medium. It kind of looks like Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC in like a little stick form. And I know that I do have concealer and stuff on my eyelids, but I always do when I use primers anyway. And I'm just going to use that little concealer brush to blend that out. I'm just using the opposite side. Alright, so that just kind of reminds me of Soft Ochre Paint Pot, but like an easier to blend version. So I'm just going to prime the left eye off camera, and I'm going to finish my eye makeup, and then I will come back on camera and let you guys know how the foundation and everything is going, and I'll do a flash test and all that sort of stuff for you guys, so I will be back in a jiffy. Alright guys, so I just finished my makeup. I just wanted to keep it pretty simple today, something light and girly. You guys know me, I like my girly light makeup, lots of nudes, that kind of thing. But it is now 3:20 p.m. It was 1 p.m. when I sat down to start filming. I should have showed you guys the time, but I forgot. So I've had my foundation on for about an hour and a half now, we'll say. So it's looking pretty good so far. It looks very full coverage. It's really cakey around my chin, around my lip where that rash was, and my smile lines are like so bad. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Like I don't really have anything to complain about, other than the fact that my blemishes are showing back through already, but I didn't put any concealer or anything on those. There's lipstick on my chins. Also, I was putting my lashes on and these are like mink lashes, so like one of them went in my eye, and it's never to be seen again. So if I'm blinking a lot, I'm a bit of a blinky bill. That is why, because I have a fucking mink in my eye. Just swirling around in there. I don't know where that hair went. I couldn't get it out though because it was too long and they're so like curled, so it was just like like just gone. The concealer underneath my eyes, once I set it with that translucent powder, I do not like that powder for setting underneath my eyes at all. I think it just made them look really splotchy. Like it kind of had like white dots, if that made sense. It looked like a little bit mottled, and it didn't really hide my dark circles, whereas when I use like a proper under eye highlighting powder to set my under eyes, I don't get that. They're not creasing, which is really, really good because I always get a lot of creasing underneath my eyes. The contour is a little bit patchy. I don't know if it's because I tried to blend it with that brush. So far I am liking the foundation and the concealer, just not really the powder too much, and the brushes I'm a little bit iffy about. But I am going to check back in probably once more, let you guys know my final thoughts, and then if I have any updates I will just update you guys in the description box down below. But other than that, I will be back in about an hour or so. I am going to insert a photo right now and show you guys if there was any flashback. I personally didn't experience any flashback when I took the photo and I looked back on it. It's not retouched or anything, I just took it on the same camera that I'm filming on now, but I didn't really anticipate for there to be any because there isn't any SPF in this foundation to my knowledge. The only one that I was concerned about was that white concealer, but it seems to be fine. So yeah, I will see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so I'm back and it's now 5:46 p.m. So I've had the foundation on for about 5 hours ish, and it actually looks really, really good. I just had a look in the mirror at it, how it was going, and it looks really good. My laugh lines, they've kind of settled around there, and around my mouth it looks absolutely terrible. I think that's because that I had a rash. It's definitely settled around my eyes now, like it's not as crazy looking as it was, but I definitely don't love how it looks. There's a tiny little bit of creasing underneath my eyes, but not too much. I usually get so much more. Other than that, everything looks really nice. My pimples over here look very mad at me. So other than like those little small areas where I have a rash, it is fine. I think the foundation is very long wearing. It's really nice. I don't need to powder or set my face or anything. I don't think the foundation set like fully matte. I am a little bit like dewy still, so I don't really agree with like the matte kind of finish. However, I do think it is very pigmented. It is very full coverage and long wearing because I do not need to touch up at all. It didn't really cover my pimples too much, but then again, I didn't really try to cover them. There hasn't really been any differences between the prime side and the non-prime side. Just so you guys know, the whole idea behind a primer is mainly to protect your skin from the foundation that you're putting on it. So it just creates a barrier between your foundation and your skin, and that's basically why I use it. I don't really use a primer to prolong the wear of my makeup. I really like the foundation, I really like the primer, I really like the concealer. I think it's really cool, and I'm definitely going to keep using that whiteout one. I think that's really innovative and just like sick. The powder, however, I don't know. I think I might pass it along to my sister or something. I might try it out again and see how it goes. Maybe with some Fix Plus over top it won't look so bad. I just feel like it kind of looks a little bit cakey on me. The rest of my face set really nicely with it. After a while it like settled back down and didn't look so powdered and patchy, if that makes sense. I think I prefer my Laura Mercier translucent powder though. As I've mentioned in other first impression foundation videos, I have like 10 foundations that I love and use on rotation weekly. So like I use like a new foundation every day, like not a new one, but I use a different foundation every single day. So this is definitely going to go into my little pool of foundations that I'm grabbing. Also, just quickly regarding the brushes, I really like this one for powdering my face, and for bronzing I think it's such a nice brush. I think this one would be good as like a painting brush for like your foundation, you know what I mean? Like a flat foundation kind of brush, and then you blend out with something else. But it was also really nice to just like set underneath my eyes with. I did like that. However, these two aren't really my favorites. I just really can't work with this brush today. I'm going to keep trying it, as I've said. But just today it wasn't really working out for me, so we'll see how that goes. This one's good for like getting into your inner corners and concealing underneath your eyes, but I do still like to go in with a beauty blender and finish concealing and that sort of thing. So anyway, that is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this first impression video on all these Kat Von D products, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my other videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Finally, that's so loud. just get the fuck out of my house, please. Fucking loud. Why is there a motorbike? Stop it. With the, fuck, I thought that was fucking overheating again. I was about to cut a bitch. No, it's not. It's not even. 9. Neutral. El Nino.